Let's kick off. So I'd like to say a very, very warm welcome to everybody today. And thanks for joining us in our Canva Live workshop. For those who don't know, Canva Live is the home of workshops and webinars for you, our Canva community. To find out about upcoming events, visit designschool.canva.com/events to find a range of interactive content to empower our community to design. We're thrilled to have you joining us for a jam-packed session today on how to create impressive videos for your business. Joining us today, we have video expert Jess to take us through the basics of the video editor and how to create great-looking video content quickly and easily. Over to you, Jess.
Thank you so much, Jess. As Jess mentioned, I'm Jess, and I am the product design lead at Canva for the video group. So as you all probably know, Canva is a free tool and you can visit canva.com and start designing without even signing in. And today I will be showing you around the video products. But Canva is more than just a product. We're a company with a very ambitious mission to empower the whole world to design. And we're doing okay so far with over 50 million monthly active users, doubling in size every year in every country in over 100 languages. But as our founder, Melanie, says, we're only 1% of the way there. So hands up if video creation sounds scary or overwhelming to you. So I remember a few of you were beginners. Does video creation sound scary or overwhelming? Scary from Jennifer. Yes. Wow. Yes, with an exclamation mark. Depends from Bianca. Mia's a little bit scared of it. Well, hopefully today I can give you the confidence to jump into our video tool and realize that it's actually quite easy. So in today's session, I will be going through 4 things. So the first thing I'll be going through is sharing some context on Canva's video editor. So understand how we've made a video tool simple for everyone to use. I'll also jump into how to create effective ads and promos, which will include a demo as well, where we'll be harnessing Canva's video templates and editor to create a show-stopping promo. Next, I'll go into how to do it on mobile. So I'll go over a quick overview on how to create videos on our mobile products. And lastly, some tips and resources so you can master your video creation. But first, let's have a look at Canva's latest video promo.
Ready to play? Play with your story, your style, your sound. Play with something new. Play with motion. Emotion. The ocean? Play in the moment. Play with the moment. Because there's always a way to make work feel like play. Start designing for free at canva.com.
So as you can see, Canva's video editor looks a little bit different to traditional video editors you've probably seen and been overwhelmed by. And that's because we've removed the complexity that comes with layering and with tracks. We've made it super simple so you can edit what's on your canvas as you would with any other design in Canva. So if you've used Canva before, you will most definitely be able to use our video products. We also strive to make our video product align with one of our main values, which is to make complex things simple. So now I'm going to jump in and have a look at the video editor. So when you're on the home page, we have a wide range of video templates you can choose from by tapping the video icon. So you don't need to worry about resizing your video. Once you're in the editor, in the templates tab, you can search for a video template like I'm doing here. And then you can scroll through and search for any video template like you would for any template in Canva. So you can hover each of the templates to preview it. So you can see I'm going over a few templates and I'm just hovering over them. And then I'm going to click to apply. You can select elements, like I'm selecting the elements here, delete it, select another one, resize it directly on the canvas like anywhere else in Canva. The thing that makes our video editor super simple is you don't need to learn too many new things. On the left-hand panel, you can go to the video tab. It might be in the More tab if you can't see it, to access a wide range of free videos from our stock library. And you can search for any videos. I searched for streetwear in this example, since this is a sales video. And then you simply drag and drop it like you would anywhere else in Canva to replace. You might notice at the bottom of the editor, it looks a little bit different, and that's because we now have the video editor, or the timeline as we call it. It makes video editing super easy since you can see all the frames of the video You can drag the edges as I'm dragging here to adjust the timing of the video, so you can see that I'm trimming each of the scenes to 3 seconds. I can also hold down and scrub the playhead to scrub through the video, or press play directly to watch the video playback in the canvas. And you might want to zoom into the timeline so you can see the thumbnails a little bit more easily. And we have this zoom slider down at the bottom, which you can toggle to zoom the canvas or the timeline. And you might also notice this line at the bottom of your timeline. When you click on this, this is actually our audio tracks. And you can access the audio tracks on the left-hand panel again. If it's not there, it might be in the More tab. And to add audio, you simply drag and drop it in, and you can layer multiple audio tracks. And we'll go into audio editing a little bit further in our demo. And if I click the plus icon between pages, I have the option to easily add a page for a transition. And I can preview them by hovering them, or I can click on one to simply apply it. So here I'm going to click on slide, and I can change its direction and its duration. And here I'm just playing with the video back so I can preview in context of my entire video. So you can see I've added a transition and I've previewed it, and it's looking like a pretty slick video to me. So as you can see, Canva's video editor is really simple. It really is for anyone. And if you can use Canva, as I've said it before, you can definitely use our video editor. So in the chat, have you used the video editor before and stopped because it was simply too hard? Yes, I'm getting lots of yeses. Yes, yes, haven't explored it that much. Well, today is the perfect day to explore a new video editor. So this is actually something we've heard from many people, which is why Canva had to reimagine the way that videos are edited. We had to completely reimagine the video tool so it's simple for absolutely everyone. So in part 2, I'm going to go through how to create an effective ad and promo. So we're going to be harnessing Canva's video templates and editor to create a show-stopping promo. So first, I'm just going to go into what actually makes an effective promo or ad. So I'm just going to give you some quick tips now so that you have some of the theory behind you when you go into create your video. So for a video or ad, you want to make sure it's short and snappy. Lingering on the same scene or the same page for more than 4 seconds can actually make it less engaging, particularly in a time where attention spans are super low. So I actually recommend 3 to 4 seconds per scene, unless the video footage is super engaging, where you can actually go over the 3 to 4 seconds. You also want to make sure that there is a narrative to your promo or ad. A good narrative starts strong and ends strong, which leads me to my next point. The first 3 seconds in your video is absolutely critical. Facebook actually suggests that social videos must hook audiences within the first 3 seconds. And we can achieve this by making the first 3 seconds relatable to our target user. And I'm just going to touch on this point shortly. Be careful with stock videos. Make sure the stock videos don't feel too staged, since this impacts audience empathy. I'm sure we've all seen really bad stock footage before in videos. So going back to the point around, is it relatable? So a great way to actually hook audiences is to make it feel relatable. So you try and put yourselves in the audience's shoes, since you're trying to appeal to them. For example, relate to one of their problems and how your product or company can solve that problem. Or the ad can be upbeat and visually eye-catching to hook their attention, and then they can imagine themselves as the people, as if they were in the ad. And lastly, is the music relatable? Is the music relevant? Make sure the tone and the mood of the music matches the tone and the mood of the ad. Don't just use generic music. Music can completely change the tone of an ad. So now I'm going to show you an ad, and I want you in the audience to think about, what does this ad actually do well? So I'm going to show you an ad shortly. So this is actually a video ad, and I want you to think about, what did this ad actually do well? I'll just play it again. So thinking about those 6 points that we just learned, I'm going to just jump into a little bit about what this ad actually did well from a video point of view. So first of all, this video is short and snappy. Snapchat actually has great examples of ads because they need to capture their audiences within the first 5 seconds, or the audience may skip the ad. You might also notice this with YouTube. They need to hook us within those first 5 seconds. It's also relatable, so the audience can relate to the problem when the internet suggests something that doesn't interest them, and they state that the relatable problem within the first 3 seconds of the ad. There actually isn't any music. So I don't know if you've noticed, but this ad has no music, and that's okay because the narrative is strong. So you don't really need music. So try and question, do you actually always need music? Do you actually always need those fancy, bells and whistles? So I'm going to show you one other ad, and then we're just going to look at what of those 6 points actually applies to this ad. And I'll just play it one more time before I jump into why is this ad effective. I love this ad, it's a good one. So this ad, it's short, it's snappy, it's upbeat. You want to bop to the music, and everyone loves a good beat. And this ad captures the relatability of creating a good beat to dance to. The stock imagery is relevant and it flicks through it quickly and it's eye-grabbing. It's also the first 3 seconds has that upbeat music, which makes us capture our attention. The stock footage is great. It doesn't feel staged. It feels very relevant to the ad, and the music is definitely relevant once again. So you can really see how they've just thought about those 6 points and they've managed to create an effective ad through that. So now we're going to put it all into a bit of practice. I want you to imagine that you're in this scenario, and we're going to jump into a live demo where Jess will also send out the link, and I'll also put it up in the screen shortly. So I just want you to quickly think as if you're this business owner. So imagine, just for the sake of this exercise, that you have a business called Bradson's Gelato. Now, the point of relatability is that we want to imagine that work is tiring, and you're going to tell the audience that work is tiring, treat yourself with an ice cream. So this is our relatability prop for our business. And the promotion that we're going to be selling in our promo is that we're going to be giving all our audiences a free delivery with a promo code. So this is the essence of the promo that we're trying to create. And I'm just going to quickly show you the video that we're going to be replicating in today's class. Cool, so you can see a very quick, snappy and engaging video, and we're going to be showing you how to do exactly that in Canva today. So if you just want to open up your workbooks, this is the link that you want to jump into. I will just jump into it now. So once you've opened up the link, you should see something that looks like this. So this is the video template that we've actually applied. So what I've actually done is just applied a generic video template that we have in our templates library. So I've applied the entire template here, and we are going to customize it to suit Bradson's Gelato's business. So the first thing that I'm actually going to do is create a relatable hook. So remember I said we want to create that relatable hook by stating the problem. So what I'm actually going to do in this first scene here is I'm going to type in sick of working. Actually, I might write sick of and then put the working in the second line here, just to add a little bit of visual pizzazz. And I might delete all the other imagery that is irrelevant. So we're not a burger joint anymore. We are a gelato company, Bradson's Gelato. I'm just going to resize it to fit my text. So it looks pretty good now. Great. So now I have this very basic layout. Sick of working is our relatable hook for the first 3 seconds. So after that, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to jump into this left panel over on the left-hand side and tap on the videos tab. Remember, if you can't find it in your videos tab, it might be hiding under this little more. So if you click in more, if you can't find it in your left tab, it should be housed over here in the more from Canva tab. However, I've already got that open. So now you can see I've already been looking for gelato. If but we're just going to hold off on that for a second. And in this left tab over here, I'm going to search videos. So the relatable hook that we're trying to create here is that I'm sick of working. I want to treat myself to some ice cream. So we have this text here, sick of working. That's actually more of a question. You're asking your audience, are you sick of working? And I'm going to create a relatable video. So I'm going to add in a tired person, or maybe a tired person working, to make it just a little bit more relevant. So you can see here that we have a bunch of videos that have been surfaced. You know, there are a range of free videos, there are a range of pro videos here. Depending on if you have a pro account or if you have a free account, you should be able to find a video that is suitable to you. So just going through the videos, I want to look for a video that I find, you know, relevant to my ad. So I'm just going to look through them. I'm also thinking about the frame in which the video has been shot in. So I don't want a super up close shot of the face, because that might be a bit too close to the face when I put the video in. So I'm looking for a bit more of a distant shot. So that's something also important to consider when you're creating a video. So I'm seeing quite a few videos here, and what I'm actually doing here in my head is I'm just quickly hovering them to see, is this the vibe that I'm actually going for? So you can see once I'm quickly just hovering them, you know, this isn't really what I'm after. This one is okay, but the frame isn't exactly what I'm after. You might scroll and scroll to find the exact video. This one actually looks pretty good because it's quite a distant frame. You can see that she's in an office working and she looks pretty tired. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to drag and drop it in. And I'm actually going to just double click to reposition the video. So I want to capture a bit of her face in here. So I've just double clicked, repositioned it. I might delete this yellow square, and I might just reposition the text. That way we can see more of her face. Great, so that is looking good. I might want to scrub it down in the timeline just to see that, you know, what's happening in the video. And that is looking pretty good to me. Great, so what I'm actually going to do from here is I want to make the video look like text changes between two different scenes, but the video is one long continuation. So the way that I'm actually going to do that is I'm going to go down into the bottom of the timeline, and remember that magic rule of 3 seconds per scene. I'm going to scrub over to 3 seconds, and what I'm actually going to do here is right click on the playhead, and I'm actually going to split. A shortcut that we've actually added is you can press S on your keyboard to simply split it without having to right click. So when I press split, what that actually does is it splits the video into two. So now if I just scrub the entire video, the video should look like it's still playing continuously. But what that actually means is in this second scene, I can actually change the text here. So I'm going to change the text to the solution. So sick of working, what's the solution? It's time to treat yourself. I can definitely relate to that. It's time to, so I might just extend the text here. Treat. And I might have a bit of fun with the typography here. So I might duplicate this. So the way that I'm duplicating is I'm actually just pressing Option Shift, or I believe that if it's on a Windows computer, it might be Control Shift, and dragging it. So I might just tilt it. It's time to treat yourself. So now you can see I've got this cool little layering effect of text happening. I might just reposition it to the way that I'm happy with. So something like that looks pretty good. So now I've got the first scene, which states the problem, sick of working. It's time to treat yourself. And you can see this second scene here is 6.4 seconds. So I might want to make that a little bit shorter. So I might just shorten the scene. And the way that I do that is by, remember in that video that I showed, I'm dragging the right edge of this video down here. So I'm dragging it to the left-hand side, and I can see on the top, the little times are telling me how long that scene is for. I want it to be for about 3 seconds. Perfect. So now if I play that, how cool is that? It looks like the video is still playing, but the text changes with it. So now we've outlined the problem, we've outlined the solution to the problem. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to add in some of our own content. So I'm going to jump over to the third screen over here. So the third screen over here is that we have free delivery. And if you remember, we were going to say that, you know, if you come over to Bradson's Gelato or Gelateria, we are going to provide you with free delivery. So I'm going to just edit the content here like you would anywhere else in Canva to make it relevant to my business. So it says Bradson's Downtown Diner. I'm just going to edit that to be Bradson's Gelato because that's the name of my business. I might want to change the formatting of the text a little bit. So over here, I'm just left aligning it by selecting the alignment tool up in the top toolbar. I might reposition it to the way you like. This is where you can actually have a little bit of fun and get a bit creative. The burgers are no longer relevant because they are not in line with my business. So I might just delete that. No minimum order required. If you want that to be part of your promo plan, you can. I'm actually going to delete that and just delete it just to keep it simple. I love it when the visual treatment is super simple because with videos, I find that you want the video to actually be the hero. You don't want too much visual clutter, otherwise it might overwhelm your audiences. So free delivery, I'm actually going to keep that because that's what we want to promote. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm thinking I might add in another video in this scene here. So now I'm going to look for a gelato video because we're a gelato business. So that makes sense to add a gelato video. So jumping over back into our left panel, I'm going to just exit this search and I'm going to look up gelato. And once again, I'm going to look through and see if there are videos that I actually think are relevant to my business, that I quite like the framing of, the composition of. I actually quite like these top two. Just from the still frame, I already think they're quite relevant. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use this one. I quite like the first search result that was shown. And I'm going to just drag and drop it into my scene. So if that has happened, and it's just dragged and dropped as an individual video, what you can actually do is you can physically resize it, or a little hack is you can just right click on it and select replace background. And what that actually does is it's replaced the entire background of my canvas with the video itself. So now if I just click to preview it, you can see the entire background is filled with this video. So I think this is looking pretty good, but once again, going back to my original point, you can see down in the timeline here, the scene looks a little bit long. So when I'm hovering, I can see that it's 7.7 seconds. I want to make it a little bit shorter just to make it short and snappy back to our points. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm once again going to trim this video. And the easiest way to do that once again is just to hover on the sides of the video, whether you want to trim it from the start, you can trim it from the left-hand side. If you want to trim it from the ends, you trim it from the right-hand side. So I'm going to trim it from the end and just make it more around 3 to 4 seconds, so 3.5. Straight in the center of 3 and 4 seconds. So I'm going to make 3.5 seconds, and you can see the little numbers there are telling me that it's 3.5 seconds. I'm pretty happy with that. Great. So now you can see that the timeline's getting a little bit tiny for me to work with. So what I'm actually going to do is jump down the bottom. In the bottom bar here on the right-hand side, I'm actually just going to zoom in a little bit. Makes it a little bit easier to work with if I want to see all my scenes zoomed in here. The great little thing there is that you can actually see every single frame of your video. So I can see exactly what's going on with my video without having to actually scrub my video with the playhead, with this vertical line here. That's what we call the playhead. So lastly, we're going to jump into the last scene. So page number 4. And once again, I am going to delete all the unnecessary content. So we're no longer a burger company. Might delete all these flashy bits here. Going to rebrand it again to Bradson's Gelato. So you can really see here how you can apply any template, even if you're not a burger joint, even if you're not a shopping store, you can really start to shift the template, play with the template and use that as your foundations and make it suitable to your business or to whatever kind of video you're making. It might be a family video. It might be a video of a vacation that you went on or a birthday video. You can really start to play with the elements, and just by adjusting some of the text, some of the imagery, some of the videos that you use in there, you can really start to make it relevant to you. And that's the superpower of Canva, is all our templates and how flexible they really are. So now I'm just going to move all of this text here. I might just move this orange square at the top just like that, the way that we had it in our last one. This Bradson's gelato is just a little bit hard to read. So just as anywhere else in Canva, I'm just going to quickly change the text color by selecting it, going up to the text color tab, and I might just make it a bit easier to read. So if an orange is easy to read, to keep it on brand, that is looking good to me. And now I'm going to use the second gelato video that was also from the search results when I searched gelato. So on the left-hand panel here, I'm just hovering it. This is looking good to me. Just going to drag and drop it in. And you can see this is looking pretty good to me. Once again, if I'm going down in the timeline, you can see that it is 9.5 seconds, which is quite long. So once again, I'm just going to drag the right-hand side of the video in the timeline and make it 3.5 seconds. Nice. So now, as I can see at the top here, I have an entire video that goes for 13.2 seconds. If you want to make some scenes shorter, you absolutely can. What you can also do that I like to do a lot of is I like to watch the video back over again. And that seems to be quite a common behavior. So I've just moved my playhead to the point where I want to watch it back. I'm just going to watch it back from the beginning, and I'm just going to preview it. So let's preview it all together. So that's looking pretty short, snappy, and engaging to me. What I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to just jump in with some final touches. If you want to add animations, so I don't know if you've noticed, but these first two scenes, the text actually animates. So I'll just play that again so you can see. So what it did is it actually almost whipped in. And the way that you can adjust that is if you want the entire page to animate, you select the background and you have this little animate button in the top toolbar towards the left-hand side. And you can select that and you'll see that you've got all these different page animations. So I can see here that tumble has actually been applied. So I might want to keep that. I might want to apply a different animation. So I might want to apply a block animation. You can really have fun with this flashy animation. I actually quite like the tumble effect. I think it's quite fun. So I might just leave that. So what I'm actually doing is I'm just hovering over each of the elements to see what actually happens. And I think I'm pretty happy with that. So I might not remove that. That template has done a pretty good job there. I'm just going to grab the little playhead here and move that across to our second scene. And that also whips in. So as I've scrubbed it, I can see that also whips in. I think that actually looks pretty good. It's quite fun and engaging. So I'm not going to adjust that. Let's see what happens on the third scene again. Okay, so the same kind of animation looks like it's been applied to this third scene. I think it might be a bit too much. There's a lot of whipping back and forth. So what I might do is I might select this background here. And because I'm selecting an element, what this animation panel has actually recognized is that I have an element selected and it's surfacing all the relevant results for that animation. So I'm actually going to remove this animation in because it feels more like a background shape rather than an element that's overlaying, you know, on top of the video. So I might just remove that. That way there isn't too much happening. I might also keep that Bradson's gelato animation. So I'll select the Bradson's gelato. You can see once again, because I've selected text, the editor has recognized I've selected text. So the animate tab or the animate panel is surfacing all the text animations. So they're being customized and curated for that individual element. I'm actually going to remove that animation as well. That way there isn't too much happening. So now you can see when I previewed that, this yellow background and my branding is actually staying still because I've removed that animation. So another thing you can do is you can actually customize these once again, like I did before. So I'm selecting the free. I might want it to rise up. So you can really start to see how I'm really starting to play with different animations. Not all elements need to have the same animation. So I have this rise effect going for the free, and I'm going to select the delivery. Maybe I want something a bit different here. Maybe I want a pan. That's kind of fun. I quite like that. So you can start to see how I'm playing with different animations on different elements, really to jazz up my design. And lastly, I'm going to jump over to page 4. and do exactly the same. So I'm going to select my yellow background, remove that animation to keep it simple, select my branding, which is Bradson's Gelato, remove that animation again to keep it simple. Going to select my order online and use code, and it's detected that once again, this is a text group, and I am going to make that rise, and then the free delivery here. So something you may notice is when you select the background, because the background is square, it's actually surface element animations, whereas the text within this group surfaces text animations. So something that you can actually do that's a pretty cool thing about our animations is you can apply a background animation. So you might apply a rise to the background square, but for the actual text, you might want to jazz it up and add a typewriter effect or a different kind of text animation. So you really can start layering when you have groups of animations. So you can see here that what I've done is the shape rises in, but the text is actually typewriting in. And notice there's no space there. So I'll just add in that space. So when I scrub that slowly with the playhead, you can really start to see what's happening in slow motion. And lastly, just the last little thing that I'm going to add is I'm going to add in a transition. So between these last two scenes, I want them to transition a little bit more dynamically. So I'm just going to select this plus icon between the two scenes, and I'm going to select the add a transition button. And I can really start to play with the different transitions, and it will quickly preview. So if I hover, it will show me exactly what's happening. I might want them to dissolve. I think the circle wipe is actually pretty cool. So I might select the circle wipe. I think circle wiping in isn't exactly what I want, but I might go out, almost like the grand reveal. What's the promo code? The grand reveal out. And I might want to increase that timing or decrease that timing. So you can play that back to see exactly what that looks like. So that felt a little bit slow. So I'm just going to go back in and make that a bit shorter, maybe 0.4 seconds. So when I preview that, amazing. That looks perfect to me. So the super last thing that I actually am not a fan of is this soundtrack. So if I select this line down the bottom, you could see that when I select it, it expands my audio track. So you can really see the waveform here. The higher the waveform, the louder the sound is. You can really start to see where the beats of the track are. So that's super handy if you are really trying to time your scenes to the beat of a song. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to delete this audio track. So I can just select it, press delete on your keyboard. If you don't want to use your keyboard, you can right click and delete. And what I'm actually going to do once again is go over to this left tab here, or this left panel, sorry, and select the audio tab. Once again, if you can't find the audio tab, it might be hidden under your More tab. So I'm going to go through and look at all the audio tracks here. You can see we've already surfaced some popular categories. So happy. So what I can actually do is I can just hover each of the audio tracks and press the little play button to preview it. So let's see what English breakfast sounds like. So that's not really the vibe that I'm going for. So I might scroll down to a category that I think is quite relevant to me. Ambient, we're not really going after ambient. Sad, we're not going after sad. I'm definitely not going after sad. We're talking about ice cream. Everyone loves ice cream. Trailer, that one seems pretty cool. I might just listen to some audio tracks just by hovering and clicking on them. Let's just play that again. This one's actually quite fun. It feels kind of vacation-like, reminds you of being on vacation. So I might actually stick to this audio track here. So the audio track, when you drag and drop it in, it actually adds to the point where the playhead is. So I'm just going to drag the playhead all the way to the beginning because I want the audio track to start at the beginning. And I'm going to just click and add, or you can drag and drop to add. And now I've got my audio track adding in. It might be spinning because it is just previewing. All right, let's see. I might just zoom in again on the bottom bar. So now what I'm actually going to do, once I've added that audio track, is I'm going to just play it to see if this is the vibe that I'm going after. So the intro feels a little bit slow, and I can really see that through the waveform, that the noise volume isn't that high. So because it's not actually that tall, you can really tell that the sound is a bit more mellow at the start. So a little hack to actually adjust the range is what you can do is you can trim it and move it, but that's a bit cumbersome. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to double click, or you can right click. So you can click on right click, or you can double click and select adjust. And I can notice here that the waveform is a little bit taller. So my assumption here is that this is where the beat is really coming in. And I want the music to be quite upbeat because our ad is about ice cream. So I might just move this audio track to be a bit more upbeat. That looks about right. And I might just play it again to see if I'm actually right with that assumption. Perfect. So that actually worked out great. So what I've actually done is I've just adjusted the audio track, and now I can really see that it's working perfectly. So I'm quite happy with this ad. I might just go and share it now. So I might just click on the top 3 buttons here, and I might go and share the link. I might share a link to watch. So that actually means I can share it to anyone and they will get a link to watch it. I might just go and download it as an MP4 video, and then download that and share it to any of my social networks. So I'm quite happy with this video ad. It's 12.8 seconds. It's not super long. It's under 15 seconds, which I think, you really want to be under 15 seconds. And the first 3 seconds has that hook because we have a relatable problem that we are solving with ice cream. So hopefully you've been able to follow along in that. I'm going to jump back into our main presentation, and you can continue playing with this video editor in your own time. Great, so now we are going to just quickly look at how we might be able to do that on mobile. So everything that we were able to do on desktop, you can do on the go on your mobile phone. So now we have the video timeline on mobile as well, and the interactions have been optimized for smaller screens. By dragging the timeline left and right, you can scrub through the scenes. So you can see that I'm playing it back here by clicking the play button. Remember, the playhead is in the middle, so what's shown in the canvas shows the point in time where the playhead is. You can tap a scene and you're shown 2 handles, and this basically lets you resize them with your finger. So you can see here that I'm selecting the second scene and I'm adjusting it with the handle. So it's been optimized for the mobile. That way you don't have to be finicky with your fingers. So to replace the video, you can select it like you would with any other element on the canvas. Select replace in the bottom bar and search for any other video you want to replace it with. So here I'm searching for streetwear. So I'm just going to quickly search for streetwear. Then I'm going to pick a video that I want to use. I just selected a video. And once again, you can scrub the video by dragging the timeline back and forth, and it will preview in the canvas. And then I can simply tap split in the bottom bar to divide up the video and delete any section that I don't want. And then I can tap the play button again to watch it back. So you can really start to see how we're using our knowledge on desktop and applying it to mobile as well. And lastly, I can select any element on the canvas. So I've selected this text here, go to the bottom bar, scroll to where it says animations, and I can preview different animations applied to that element by tapping on them. So it gives you a live in-canvas preview to see what that animation will look like, which is great and super duper handy. All done in the click of a button. No one will know that you have used Canva. So next, make a design in the next 24 hours and post it on Instagram, #MadeInCanva. So create your videos, share it with our community. I'm sure we will love to see it. I'll definitely be checking out this hashtag to see all the amazing things that you have learnt today and how you've applied it to your video. And now I'm going to pass it over to Jess, who will just talk about some tips and resources.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that, Jess. We do have a fair few questions, which I'm going to come back to.
Sure.
Lots of people feeling super empowered, going, wow, I can actually make this myself now, and really appreciating how simple Canva's video editor is. So thank you so much for those demos. Yes, we do have loads of resources for you, which I'm going to go through now, but also stick around for a bit of Q&A at the end, because Jess is very knowledgeable and we do have a lot of really good questions that I'd love to run through. First up, we do have a page where you can learn more about the video features. Canva.com/videos is the place to go. So I encourage you to pop over to that page and learn even more in your own time after this session. If you want to get hands-on with a few tutorials, we've got you covered there too. So designschool.canva.com/tutorials/video. And our YouTube channel is chock full of tutorials as well, but those are a collection of video specific ones. We have got our community group, the Canva Design Circle. So if you are not already a member of the Design Circle, I do encourage you to join. We have 200,000 members now, and it's a place where if you love Canva, you can go and be inspired by things that people are creating. You can ask your questions of the community managers. You hear about new features coming out, and lots of people share their designs in there to kind of get feedback from other people in the community to help improve their own design skills as well. So facebook.com/groups/Canva Design Circle is the place to be. So a few people asked questions, Jess, around adding their own video and audio. Can you confirm how we might do that? If you're happy to maybe pop back to your
Yes,
demos.
absolutely. So you can definitely upload any of your own content. Please bear in mind that if you do upload your own music, we do not cover your licensing, so it is your responsibility to make sure that your music is licensed. So what I mean by that is if you do share directly to YouTube, so we do have a YouTube plugin coming. I'm sorry, that is coming soon, but if you do share that video to YouTube, you've downloaded it, uploaded it, even if you're sharing it to Instagram, they might block your music if your licensing hasn't been accounted for. However, all of our music on Canva, your licensing is covered as long as you downloaded it from Canva, you've signed up. So you don't need to worry about audio within Canva. However, if you do want to upload your own music or your own audio tracks, what you can simply do is you can drag and drop the audio file from your desktop or from your own computer onto this Uploads tab here. Even if you don't have the Uploads tab open, that's fine. Just drag and drop it into this area. It will open up the Uploads tab automatically. Another way you can do that is you can select Upload Media and it will go straight into your own browser. So yes, you can upload any images, any videos, or any audio tracks that you might have. So yeah, completely achievable.
Fantastic, thank you. Another question that was asked quite a bit actually is about adding call to action buttons in your video. Is it possible to add a call to action button in your video? I thought it might be if you're sharing it as a link, but if it's a downloaded video, what do you think, Jess?
Yes, so right now videos don't support having links within them. So within a presentation, I know that we have those, like if you select an element and you select the little link button in the top toolbar, if it is a click-through presentation, you can link it to any link externally. However, when you share something as an MP4, what it actually does, so just getting a bit technical here, but what it actually does is it flattens all the elements within your video. So they're actually not interactive. So what my suggestion would be is whatever network, whatever social media platform you're sharing to, you might have to add their own native call to action. So normally I know with Instagram, they have, tap here for like the website, or you can add a link there. However, we are working on that. So it is a very heavy engineering task because, as I said, MP4 videos flatten the video. So hopefully that will be available sometime this year. But yes, right now that's unachievable.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to address Jenny's question about designing for accessibility. So Jess, I don't know whether you have anything to contribute here about designing with accessibility in mind for video. I know that we have a department in Canva working on making accessible options and features as we speak. We have done an entire webinar on designing for accessibility. So that's where I'd point you right now with our accessibility expert, Nissa, and it was fantastic. Anything you would add on top of that, Jess, or just stick with the webinar?
Yeah, so I think that accessibility is obviously a massive, massive topic. It doesn't only include, it also includes the audio sounds, describing that with closed captions. So something we're actually working on right now, and hopefully it will be available this season. The first step is closed captions. So when you do share this video as a watch link, so if I click share link to watch, it'll actually generate a unique Canva video link. And within that, we will be having closed captions. So that's what we will hopefully be releasing sometime in the next 6 months or so. And coming this year, what we're actually going to have is captions within videos as well. So if you have a video with audio in it, or even if you just want to add your own captions, we're actually going to be enabling that sometime this year, which is super exciting because we hear the accessibility concerns and we are working on it. It's just a massive task to be working on.
Yeah, but it's going to be good, and it's great.
It's going to be so good.
Brilliant. Erin has a question. If you're adding multiple music tracks, is there the ability to lower the volume of one song while you add in another one? Can you, yeah?
Absolutely. I will quickly show you how to do that now. So let's say, for example, I'm adding an audio track to this second half of the video. So I might just go into my audio tab and I might just add in, I'm just going to, for instance sake, I'm just going to add in this video track, Empire. And what I can actually do is there's multiple ways you can do this. You can right click on the audio track here, which shows volume. You can select the 3-dot ellipses button, select volume. And what that actually does is surfaces volume at the top here. So I can make this audio track, super duper quiet. Whereas if I select this purple audio track and go up into volume, I can make this one 100% or whatever volume you want. So you can adjust the volume of any audio tracks. We also do have audio fade coming, so keep your eyes peeled out for that. So that is a very exciting feature that we're super excited to have coming.
You read my mind. That was coming up as well. So we've had a few questions. Can you fade out the audio? So good to know that that is coming. Okay, I think we did have a quick question. Is there a way to put a watermark on your video? Would you just add a little?
Yeah, I think you might have to do that manually. If you want to add in a watermark, you might just want to add in a text element. And what you can actually do is, let's just say I'm adding this, piece of text here, and then, you might want to just add in whatever watermark it is. It might be a logo, whatever. And what you can do is I would hack it in a way where you might just want to make that white, lower the transparency of it, and then lock it. So that way, if you lock it, no matter with whatever you interact with on your page, that watermark is not going to move. So that's a quick hacky way that I might do it. We don't really have a watermark button because, so many people have different kinds of watermarks. So that's the way that I would approach that.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. All right. So I think we've got time for one more question about lengths. Is there a limit to how long or how big your video project can be?
Yes, so there isn't currently a limit. However, if you are a free Canva user, I believe our upload limit pretty big. I might have to get back to you on that, but you shouldn't be worrying about limits in terms of your video because we should be able to support that. I believe it might be 1 gigabyte of a video that you might not be able to upload to, but we do recognize that is an issue for some people that do upload quite high quality long videos. That's something that we are working on supporting right now with our tech team, but hopefully that shouldn't be too much of an issue for you now because we do support quite a large size of video and quite long lengths of it. So our video editor doesn't really have a time limit on it.
Amazing. Actually, I'm going to slip another last little question in there. What's the best audio file format to upload files in it? Can we use a few formats? Do they have to be in one specific format for both our own video and our own audio that we might upload?
Yeah, so we should support, I believe we support a range of audio files here. So I think that if I drag and drop, let me just test this assumption. So if I have like an MP3 MP3. Normally I use MP3s, but if I drag and drop it, you should be able to see these are all the different formats that we support, not only for videos, but also for images. So you can see here, you can support PNGs, JPEGs. So specifically for audio, we support MP3s, M4AS, OGGs, and WAVs, WAVs. Yeah, if you just hover over here while you're dragging and dropping something in, it will actually show what you can exactly upload, which is a handy little tip. So I've just uploaded my MP3 in there.
Perfect. Okay, and I think that wraps it up for today. And please join me in thanking Jess for a brilliant session today. Lots of appreciation coming through for you in the
Thank you all. Thank you. I hope you all enjoyed yourself.
Fantastic. We look forward to seeing you at another Canva Live session very soon. Enjoy your evening or your day. Bye-bye.